Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, taking a fun and exciting video for you guys today, and one that I'm probably the most excited to make of the entire week. That is because Super Mario Bros Remastered was just updated 5 days ago, and this is a release client for an even bigger update in the future. And I talked about this earlier in the year and back in 2025 and said it was one of my favorite fan projects, fan PC ports that I've ever seen, and it really has taken on the life of its own that I hoped when I first talked about it, because there is an entire community based around Super Mario Bros Remastered, making level packs, making new custom levels, artwork, and graphics, just like you see here with Pastel Agony, which is still my favorite look for a Super Mario Bros. Game ever. And the last time I took a look at this, there were some updates, and the team behind it said that they were working on some even more fun features, and that's what we're going to be going over today. But since it has been maybe like 5 months since I talked about this project, almost 6, let me reintroduce it to you. And also don't worry about that little error message at the top about a missing frame. That's just because this is a work in progress build, and I'm probably playing around with some of the settings that will make that appear. Super Mario Bros. Remastered is an entire reimagining of the original Super Mario Bros. Game, including the lost levels in All Night Nippon, with an entire campaign built around the fact that you can do anything to the game and engine you possibly want. There is an entire robust tool set in here that has been expanded upon with this update, that you can basically go in and create your own custom levels. Basically, think of something like Super Mario Maker from Nintendo, but from fans with a lot more going on and just a lot more fun and style around the edges. Because Pastel Agony here still may be one of the prettiest ROM hacks or visual reimaginings of any game, Nintendo or otherwise, that I have ever seen. And the fun thing is, I am just scratching the surface here, and I do love how some of the levels will troll you as well, because there is a pickaxe in the back there that I walked by inadvertently because I forgot it was there. If you go onto the Game Banana website, there are hundreds upon hundreds of different mods for this one. You have different complete repacks of all of the graphics and audio. You have custom levels, a lot of Kaizo stuff. Really kind of feels like an almost infinite universe of what the original Mario can be. And because it is so enhanced and so pretty, sometimes it really is hard to remember that this is using the actual game file from the original Super Mario Bros. As the basis of running everything. Because that is the thing, you gotta bring your legally owned copy of Super Mario Bros. To the party if you want to play this one. But I've been really following along with this project, hoping it updated soon, because I really wanted to do a revisit, because right now we're in the golden era of N64 decomps, recomps, and PC ports, and now even GameCube, but stuff like a Super Mario Bros. PC port like Remastered deserves every bit as much of the headline as any of the other releases we've seen recently, just because this is 100% in my opinion, the framework on how you make these things so much better. So if you take a look right now, there's a bunch of different actual updates that I haven't talked about, and they're all cumulative up until that release client 3, which is basically the version before this actually goes to the quote-unquote mainline update. There's a bunch of different additions and a lot of fixes to the overall gameplay, making it a smoother experience, and I will say, it definitely feels 100% the same physics as Super Mario Bros. In my opinion. But now the editor's been improved as well, basically making it even easier to be able to create levels, that way you can deal with anything you want and kind of just be creative in the world of Super Mario. And that really is why this project is so outstanding, because if it was just the original levels with nothing else included in, and no real packs for all of the graphics and visuals, it would be a really fun time, but it wouldn't kind of go above the bar to becoming a special sort of PC port. But with all of the fan involvement here, there's so many different ways to make this game feel different, look different, sound different, and with hundreds upon hundreds of custom levels, really you could just load this thing up and play a level a day, probably for the next couple of years, and never see the same thing twice. But do be aware, because it is all custom user developed levels outside of the mainline remastered games, that sometimes you'll hit something that is exceedingly hard and cruel, sometimes you'll find the best level ever made, and sometimes you'll find something that you really don't like whatsoever. But that's kind of the same thing with Super Mario Maker, so really nothing about Remastered that does a bad job, just whether or not people spend the time to make a great level, if they kind of just phoned it in. But as far as these overall game packs here, something like Pastel Agony changed up the soundtrack as well to some really fun stuff. So go ahead and listen to the first soundtrack sample, and I'll be right back to show you a lot more about Remastered. This is the fun thing about Super Mario Bros. Remastered, not just in the base, but in all of these different kind of packs you can install. That music right there is both iconic and instantly familiar, and also a completely different take at the same time, so your brain thinks to itself, I have heard that, I know that, I just don't know this version of it. And that's the exact experience that you're going to get when you play Super Mario Bros. Remastered. And I will show you a couple other looks you can achieve as well. I can't imagine anyone not liking the look of Pastel Agony. It is still maybe my favorite artistic rendition of the world of Super Mario Bros. That has ever been made, even including Nintendo. I just wish they would do something like this themselves, kind of pivot up what the Mushroom Kingdom actually looks like. Now going over the menu in the latest development build, the one that you can grab now, and in my opinion was very stable, you can go ahead and dial in any aspect ratio you want. You can change up the rendering, the scaling, everything else. You can go to a high frame rate, or you can even limit it, so you can kind of dial in the experience you want. It really does give you almost complete control over absolutely everything. And then when you get into some of the level packs or the visual packs, you even have the ability to kind of change things even more, because you'll see here in the resource pack menu, you're able to change into whatever you want. Now suddenly the background is completely different. And the fun part is, if you get bored with something like Pastel Agony or any of the other looks, you can basically change up Super Mario Bros. Remastered to be whatever it is you want it to be. If you want it to feel like the original Game Boy games that had completely different characters and sprites, you can do that. And now with the updates, you're just getting a better version of this, because I know in some of the previous versions people said that the physics felt slightly off, and the last time I played this I said it felt like it was like 99% of the way there. And even if I am not some sort of Super Mario Bros. Absolute expert, I will say that the physics here, the weight to jumping, the momentum and everything else, it feels identical to what I would expect it to be. So I think unless you are some sort of world class, maybe first, second or third in the world Super Mario Bros. Speedrunner, you'd have absolutely no idea if it was doing anything differently than the actual game was concerned. And honestly, it might actually be doing a one-to-one job, and maybe somebody like a speedrunner could tell us exactly that. But I love that the team continues to dedicate their time and energy, and trust me, spare time, because this is a completely free thing that you can download today to make a better version of Super Mario Bros. Remastered. And I do technically follow a lot of different projects, and I do hope that some of them update, because I want to just talk about them again, because this is just something that always, every single time I play it, is an outstanding time. And trust me, if you have a big OLED TV like I do, go ahead and pop that on. You're going to absolutely love it with all the different colors here. Some of this footage is from the previous example of the build as well, just because I had a couple more looks captured. But honestly, there really isn't anything I can say about Super Mario Bros. Remastered that is to its own detriment or a negative. They keep improving it, they keep making it better, and we are all the better for it. This is the type of stuff that I wish Nintendo would do more of. Yes, we have Super Mario Maker, but I wish that they would remaster some of the original games in 2D, but completely change up the theming and kind of all the different colorways and visual effects, because I think those would definitely be very big sellers, because I know this thing is absolutely popular based upon the amount of mods I see. But one more soundtrack sample and I'll be right back with just a little bit more Mario fun. I think the most fun part about Super Mario Bros. Remastered is your ability to just make it kind of whatever it is you want. Just to be aware that, like anything, if you get too granular, you get too far down the rabbit hole of trying to make it look perfect, don't forget you still have to play the game, because that really is where all the fun is. And this is something, like I said, I loved the project when it first came out. I've been loving every single update, and these updates over the last like 6 months or so, accumulating in that release client 3, really feel like they've taken a great thing and made it even better. And that is always something I love. So if you want to play this one, I have a link in the description below to the GitHub page, and maybe back in February I did a tutorial on how to add different level packs and different overall level aesthetics. So if you do need that, it is still relevant. I check to make sure, and I will leave a link in the description below if I remember, and I usually don't, so just go ahead and search Super Mario Bros. Remastered on the channel search and you will find it. But this is just what I love about fans. They give us so much fun, they keep updating us, they keep giving us more and more things to see and do, and honestly, with modern gaming being so boring, retro is always going to be here for us. But I'll see you next time. Bye bye.